Good morning, my peepers. Welcome to Shalene's Creativity Room. It is Thursday, February 29th. Happy leap year. Yep, it's a leap day. Okay, so what's going on today? Yeah, what's going on? I know I'm running late. I will explain that now, I guess, before we go into the weather. So yesterday I had my Zoom, and at 2:30 I got disconnected. Said no internet connection. I still had electricity, no internet connection. I'm like, yeah, it's done that before. It usually comes right back on after a couple minutes. I waited and waited, nothing. So in order for me to send messages and stuff, every once in a while I can get one, but I can't send them in the house. I have to go outside. Well, at this point, the temperature dropped from 50-something down to 40. And then it dropped down to 30. Oh my God, you guys, that temperature dropped so bad. Never lost electricity, just internet. So I would message once in a while to Danielle, no internet. I didn't know it was my Zoom. So Danielle hosted it until I left. Or until she left, I mean. Yeah. The internet never came back on till 8 o'clock last night. So when Scott came home, I said, there's no internet. And he goes, what about electricity? Did it go out? And I said, no. And he said, Alex, who lives the next road over, and he works with Scott, his wife had called him that their power went out at 2:30, which is the same time that my internet went out. I'm like, well, that's weird. So I started dinner. And he came in and he said the oven's doing that whooshing noise again. And it's doing it longer than it usually does. I said, well, that's weird. So he goes, it stopped. So he didn't think anything of it. So I was just finishing taking the food out of the oven, and Scott went out to go check on our fuel tank because it's a propane tank. We use propane for our furnace and our stove because it's a gas stove. I would never go to electric stove unless someone put a gun to my head because it cooks a lot better. So I was getting the food already, and he came in and he said the propane tank is leaking gas. I said, what? He said, there's a leak. So he goes, we can't call out. Our home line is through Spectrum, which uses the internet. And to call from our house, on our cell phones, we need the internet. He goes, do you think I'll be able to call Dylan from in your car? And I said, yes, it should work in the car. So he went out and sit, because he didn't want to sit out on the porch. At this point, it was in the 20s, and it started snowing. Yeah, from 60 down to the 20s and snowing in just a matter of hours. So he goes out to the car. He calls Dylan. Dylan said, turn off the furnace and everything. So we turned off the furnace. The oven was already off. And Dylan asked, to send him a picture of our account number with the company that he works for that delivers our propane. So Scott takes a picture. It won't send to Dylan. I said, let me take a picture on my phone. I'll send it, and I'll go stand out on the porch. So I go out on the porch. It sends it. So Dylan calls the company he works for, tells them our account number and what the issue is. They were here in an hour and a half in that freezing cold, And it was snowing. I mean, not bad. It was just flurries, and there was a light dusting on everything. But the guy said he lived in Freedom, which I have no idea where in New York that is. I never heard of it. He said it was like a huge snowstorm there. It was horrible. He had us up and running in 10 minutes. He goes, yeah, that happens sometimes. He fixed it. All good to go. Thank God. Thank God, you know. So at this point, I'm like, oh, well, I wonder when we're going to get our internet back. So I decide I'm going to listen to my Kindle book because it's already downloaded on my Kindle. Scott kept coming in talking to me. I was starting to get pissed. And then he got mad at me because I was pissed off at him. I said, look it, I know you can't watch TV and you can't play TikTok on your phone, but you can hear that I'm listening to an audiobook. See, and he left the room. I'm like, I can hook up your TV. I said, I have a hard drive with movies. It hooks into your TV. It doesn't work on my TV. I don't know why, but it hooks up into his. I said, it's already hooked up. All I have to do is click on something on your TV and you can watch. It'll list all the movies that are on this external hard drive. No, I don't want to. Well, then leave me the frick alone. I have a blog tour. It's due tomorrow. I still got to finish this book. So guess what I'm doing all day until we have to leave because we are getting our taxes done at 6 o'clock tonight. So I go to bed. It's like 11 o'clock. And at this point, I had listened to some of the book. Then I went back to YouTube since the internet was back on. But my phone still wasn't working with the... So I'm like, the internet's slow. We'll see. So I said, before I go to bed, I'm going to reset the router and everything. So I did that, went to bed, got up this morning, grabbed my phone. It's at 48%. Okay, I'll wait and charge it after breakfast. So I take the phone with me in the kitchen while I'm fixing breakfast, and I want to play my morning games. It is so freaking slow. Like, okay, I'll reset. And I did restart my phone last night also before I went to bed. So I restart my phone because it's slow. It's still slow. It's not loading images on my email. It won't let me hook to YouTube. And at the bar at the top of my phone, it says I'm connected to the internet. Okay. Well, the internet must be slow. So I messaged Danielle and I said there probably will be no morning video because my internet connection's really bad. And she's like, well, call them. And I said, well, I will later. So, you know, I keep looking. I said, well, let me go under settings and see about the connection. So I go under settings and I click connection, and where I'm supposed to be connected, it says that I'm not signed in. Really? And now my battery went from 48% down to 20%. What the hell's wrong with my phone? So I click on signed in. I'm now connected to the internet. Woohoo! Everything's working on my phone. Really? Technology? This is like ridiculous. I haven't had to do that before when the internet's gone out. So now, then I got down to 14%. I'm like, I'd just forget it. I played the games that I wanted to, and I plugged in the phone, had my breakfast, took a shower, and decided, because whenever I part my side on this side, the bings over here don't want to stay here. They want to keep going over there. I'm like, why am I fighting this? So I parted it on this side, and everything's where it's supposed to be. This is not trying to go over there. Yeah, so my part is now on my left side. It has been quite a morning, people. Yeah, it's not even noon yet. And I haven't even finished my first cup of coffee. I've only drank about half of it. Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy, you guys. So, Danielle did message me yesterday afternoon and said David Red Floss Stitcher came in to my Zoom. Well, he wanted to know if anyone had a Zoom, and so she sent him my link, and I'm like, I thought he was still on my email address, on my email list. I could have sworn I still emailed him. I don't know. We'll see. We don't have any birthdays today that I know of because if you know anybody whose birthday is on the 29th, let me know, because my calendar from last year, does not have the 29. So I am going to have to write 29. And then if somebody has a birthday today, I will put it in. Yeah. That kind of day. That kind of day. Okay, the weather. Right now it is sun shining, but it is windy. And it finally stopped snowing. As the dog woke me up at 3:30 last night, I let her out, and it was snowing like crazy. And she came in all white. Right now, see, I told you it was cold. It is 24, feels like 9 degrees. It is freaking cold out there, you guys. And it's windy. So today's only a high of 28, so we're almost at where we're supposed to be. With a low of 23 tonight. Yeah. Humidity 43%, sunset 6 p.m., decreasing cloudiness and windy. A few flurries or snow showers are possible, but I don't see the wind warning anymore. We don't have a wind warning anymore. I wonder if we do on WeatherBug, because WeatherBug seems to be more accurate than the AccuWeather. Nope. Okay, so the wind warning is done, but it's still windy out. Okay, love it. My email's working now. Today's National Day. So we know it's National Leap Day. Rare Disease Day, USA. Rare Disease Day brings awareness and education about rare diseases and the suffering they cause. I do have a rare disease day. I have sarcoidosis. Mine affects my skin. They're little nodules that are under the skin. This one was one, and I picked at it at one time to see if I could pull it out. Yeah, I was younger. I was stupid. That did not happen. But I get little nodules under my skin. They don't hurt. They don't do anything. The only way you can get rid of them is with steroids. I did that once. I'm not taking steroids again unless I absolutely have to. Most people that have sarcoidosis, it affects their lungs and internal organs, their major organs. A lot of them are on oxygen. Mine have not gone that route. Mine's even rarer of the rare, because mine are under the skin, which is very rare for sarcoidosis. So, yeah, I've been dealing with that since 1995. I had it before that, but I kept being misdiagnosed. So, yeah, so I have that. I have thyroidism. I have diabetes, of course, high blood pressure, and I have a hernia where my belly button is. That's why I always look pregnant. They won't do operation until I lose weight. I have a lot of weight to lose. I lost quite a bit, the year before, and I gained it back. It is hard, you guys. It is hard to lose the weight and keep it off. It is so hard. What else do I take meds for? I take a water pill every morning. Oh, and I have high cholesterol, so I take a cholesterol pill at night. Yep. So that's everything. And I have rheumatoid arthritis, which I have had since I was 26. Thankfully, it's not in my hands. It's in my back, my knees, my ankles, my hips now. It can stay there. Just don't go to my hands. I want to cross stitch till I die. Okay, today's wisdom quote. You have a responsibility to contribute to the culture and times you live in. By Robert Greene. And today's words of the day. Word of the day. Word of the day. Today's first word is heliotropic. It's an adjective meaning turning toward the sun or the light. The other word of the day, bisextile, but let's see.
Bisextile.
Yep, bisextile. Adjective of a year having the extra day, 29 February, of a leap year. Bisextile. Okay. Today's horoscope for Aries. Unsafe conditions could exist around the house. That was yesterday. Which may result in accidents if they aren't rectified. Some may not be readily apparent, so warn family members to be careful. This isn't a good day to do any heavy work around the home. If you are planning major repairs, it might be a good idea to postpone them. This is, however, a good day for planning such repairs as you can be especially methodical right now. No, that was taken care of, and I don't know what else there is. Okay, so how did we do yesterday? I ended up taking pictures of what I was working on, before and after pictures. Yeah. And then once the internet came on, I was able to upload them all off my tablet. See, this is what was weird. I was watching YouTube on my other laptop, which is slow, and it was slow. I'm used to that laptop being slow. My tablet was working, not my phone. Why didn't I think last night, oh, it must be your phone? That's why I restarted it twice last night. Yeah, it was my phone. So I worked on Snowy yesterday, and that's what I was working on during Zoom. And I put in 324 stitches on Snowy. I updated all my pictures on Instagram and Facebook and wherever Facebook groups I had to. It also counted to the daily 30. Then I pulled out Disney Princess Castle. And I put in 316 stitches on that. That counted in categories for leisure, for movies, for Disney. And I Spy was something that reminds you of a friend. Well, Crystal is a big, huge Disney fan. So, and her and I had started that together. So that counted. And then I used it for the letter V in 24 hours acrostic, their acrostic letter for penalty stitches. So I got a lot done with that. Then I pulled out Independence Day coffees. I put in 298 stitches on that, and that was for the last thing in categories for the title name with a D, and it's Independence Day coffees. So I did all the prompts for categories. Let's see if I get penalized for anything, because they are too anal for me. And if I do, I'm not doing it anymore. Yes, and the internet was out for 5.5 hours. I started the book Her Feud by Emma Talon. It's the 7th book of the Drew family series. They are a mob, and I think it's set in the UK. I absolutely love this series. It's a spin-off from another series of hers, which I absolutely flew through that. Every book I did a blog tour for, and I've done a blog tour for every book of this series. So yeah, my blog tour is tomorrow, so I have to finish it today and get up my review, and I still have another review to do. What was the other one? The Guest by B.A. Paris. I still need to get up that review also. That came out on the 20th. The book I'm reading today came out on the 27th. So, yeah, but my blog tour is tomorrow. So, yeah. And then, like I said, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. So today I want to finish Her Feud and then watch yesterday's and today's General Hospital. Then I will read a Kindle book. Well, I will listen. And then go back to another book I have to review. So I will be going back and forth. And next month I have 5 books to review. And I believe I have 3 blog tours. Yeah, okay, so tomorrow is Her Feud. And then I have a blog tour on the 16th and the 28th. So those I'll be reading also. So yeah, lots of reading and stitching. Well, listening to books and stitching. Okay, let's see what news we have, because when I go and restart my phone, every time I do that, it takes away the news breaks. I have to wait for new ones to come in. So, New York sunroom expansive. Outdoor home security, 5 steps to a safer... I don't know what that is. That wasn't what I was looking at. Kate Middleton's rep speaks out amid her recovery from abdominal surgery. She initially underwent her surgery in January. They wanted to remind people about her wish for privacy. So they're not talking about it. 4 victims from the same family died from gunfire in the deadly shooting turned house fire near Philadelphia. That's sad. Peanut wants in. The 30 Faces of Animal Abuse in Upstate New York. So, this was in the Catskills earlier this year. Smokehouse Creek Fire, second largest wildfire in Texas history. It's burned 850,000 acres. Wow. We're still loading. Award-winning actor Billy Porter forced to sell his New York home after SAG-AFTRA strike fallout. Kelly Osbourne. Okay, let's see. Kelly Osbourne felt boyfriend Sid Wilson forced her into giving their baby his last name. We had a huge fight. The baby should be given his last name. She should have it too. That's just my opinion. She and her baby daddy got into a blowout argument over what their son Sydney's last name would be. That's because she wanted to carry on the Osborne name, right? Because of her last name, it would have more weight. I bet that's why. It's the biggest fight we ever had. I wanted our son to have both of our last names, and he wouldn't let me. She can never, ever forgive him for that, but we can move on. Too bad. Fortunately, he had a change of heart. Well, I don't. It's all a bunch of bullshit. WWE WCW legend dies. It's still loading. At 61 years old, Michael Jones, also known as former professional wrestler Virgil, has died at 61. Peacefully at the hospital. Okay. And, I have a package in transit. What? It left Las Vegas. Crossed over New York, went to New Jersey. So, I should have it Saturday. Why did it do that? Why did it cross over New York, go all the way to frickin' New Jersey? That makes no sense. Kanye West tells Kim Kardashian, take our kids out of system school. The rapper producer threw up a new IG post, which he has since deleted, and he name-dropped Kim explicitly with a strong request, namely calling her out and telling her to take their 4 children out of the ritzy private school they all go to. He says it's a fake school for celebrities that are used by the system. At this point, everybody knows what the system is code word for. I was removed from my dad by the system, and the system removed me from my children. When the system drafts athletes, they avoid working with those who have their father in their life because they are harder to manipulate. My 2 oldest know the daddy is. Kenya sounded firm in his stance here, but like we said, he quickly yanked this down. And yes, he again seems to be leaning into anti-Semitism. Well, he should have had to say where his kids went to school, too. She should not have sent them anywheres without his permission. They both have to agree. Dylan had to. They both had to agree. That is it for the news today, because I lost everything else. I mean, I could go on your Newsbreak app and read, but I don't feel like doing that. I am going to go listen to my book and cross-stitch all afternoon. Nothing else going on. I have chicken out for dinner, and I will have some veggies, and I will make Scott a rice or noodle dish. I think since we're getting our taxes done at 6, we're usually there an hour. it'll be either a late dinner or he'll just pick something up on the way home. We'll see what happens. I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Love you guys. Bye-bye.